Hello there. My name is Joshua, and I am a first-year engineering student here at the University of Alberta. I am one of the developers of our little game, First Year Trivia Night.
Hey, my name is Jonah. I'm also a first-year engineering student, and I co-developed this project with Joshua. Here's a general outline of the presentation, starting with how we arrived at our idea of doing a trivia game.
When we started this project, we wanted to create something fun and interactive, and invoke a sense of collaboration and unity among first-year students. Using those criteria, we arrived at a game of trivia, engineering trivia specifically. Taking inspiration from popular game shows, we developed a game show all about surviving the first year engineering.
For our requirements, we wanted to experiment with collecting data from using Google Forms, using .csv and .txt files, and have a flexible program that could accept most inputs from a Google form. Additionally, we're only going to use the Python programming language and use a dictionary data structure where appropriate. Finally, we will stay within the scope of the lecture content.
Here's the timeline of our project. Back on October 2nd, a few days after the coding contest had begun, we started working on a prototype. Version 1 was a proof of concept. Nothing to be polished, only that the code would function properly. We prioritized the ability to take data from a .csv file and sort it in a way that allowed us to output the questions and answers of the game.
For this section of the code, we created a .txt file that contained 10 questions that was separated using the @ symbol as the delimiter. Question grab reads the text file and prepares the questions to be used in the game. Ultimately, this version is a proof of concept, and we were looking for pure functionality. For version 2, the biggest change for question retrieval was that now we are working with a .csv file generated from data obtained from a Google form. The form nicely breaks down the data we want into their own rows and columns that give us the capacity for handling large amounts of data. This time, we processed the .csv file containing data from the form and exported a new .csv file containing a filtered list of questions determined by user input in the game. Also, we made an alternative variable that has a list of dictionaries called data.
Version 2 was our full attempt at making the whole trivia idea somewhat polished. We wanted the code to be much more easily organized and readable. We decided to separate the code into 6 different files. Main would be where the physical code was run. Introduction would outline the rules of the game, as well as ask the player for their name. Bounds would set the rules of the game, such as the category and difficulty. Play would be where the game was actually played and the questions asked. Conclusion would be how the program responded to losing or winning the game. And finally, text extraction, which was just covered by Jonah.
Alright, here is our game. Let's add our name, some validation, and then we'll skip the rules for now to keep things short. Alright, let's choose our hardest difficulty, and I like chemistry. So, the intro clip in this case is ready set. This is from our Google Forms, from people inputting it. Alright, I think the answer is B. Ah, sweet. Alright. I think C. Oh, look, I got the question wrong. Alright, well, normally you can keep on going until you lose all your lives, but now an outro clip plays. In this case, it's nice try. And then now, it is up to you if you want to play again. Unfortunately for version 3, we weren't able to complete it within the time frame of the contest, but we really wanted to elevate the fun aspect of the trivia game by adding a user interface, adding another way to sort through questions, such as difficulty, using a larger list of questions, and playing against a bot are some of the changes we wanted to see from this version. In the creation process, we learned about organizing our code, such as importing functions from other files to keep code as neat and simple as possible. We also learned a way to interact with users on a massive scale, and how to deal with the data. Lastly, we learned more about .csv files, such as the ease in which splitting can be done for each line or question in the data.
We would like to thank Dr. Joseph for giving us the opportunity to create this project and for giving us advice for any problems we ran into. We would also like to thank all the individuals who submitted their questions for our project. We couldn't have done it without you all.